So we're going to talk about this one more time, but this time it will be a little bit calmer, and hopefully you'll understand exactly where I'm coming from this time.
Xbox, Twitter, Uber,
Postmates,
Netflix, MoviePass,
Google,
eBay,
DoorDash,
Apple, Amazon, Airbnb,
The Apptrepreneur. Hey everyone, this is Kevin, the Apptrepreneur. So yesterday's video definitely got a huge response, and it was meant to have a big response. Some people did not like it because they disagreed with me. That is fine. Some people did not like it because they like me and they felt that was beneath them. Or not beneath them, but beneath me to make a video like that. And that's fine. In fact, I would normally agree with you. I'm not going to for a very specific reason, but you know. Then there's a lot of people who actually liked the video because Geo, the Rideshare Evolution, has bullied them, and they've been sending me comments that he's made to them, screenshots of things that no decent human being should ever say to another person, regardless how much you disagree with them. And they paint a pretty broad picture of a man who was insecure and, frankly, probably in the need of a friend, if we're being honest. Now, that video that I posted yesterday, here's a little bit of a sneak peek into the making of it, was never intended for public release. In fact, some people who paid close attention might have noticed something a little odd, which would even clue you in that this was made a little while ago, but didn't show up until now. And there's a very specific reason why. Now, of course, he made a response video to it. He made two, in fact. The first one was basically that I was doing this for clicks because my channel is suffering, which I appreciate his concern, but no, my channel is not suffering. First of all, Social Blade is never a 100% totally accurate thing. I know how much money it says I make on there, but I make quite a bit more than that on YouTube and in other aspects. And I assume Geo does as well. But it wasn't for clicks, and by the way, that video is permanently demonetized, and I don't care. I knew it would be permanently demonetized, and it was not made to gain subscribers because I knew I wouldn't gain much from doing that. My audience tends to be a little bit more mature than that of those that want drama videos. But again, there's a very specific reason I released that video. Now, I'm going to talk about that reason, which will also explain the title of this video. But I figured I would at least address a few minor things, like a few minor little itty-bitty things. Now, in all fairness, Geo's response video is 45 minutes long, maybe 47, something like that. And I only watched about 5 minutes of it. And after 5 minutes, I kind of knew at that point, whatever he had to say was not worth listening to at that point, because his response was so pathetic. And he had already been caught in two major lies in just that 5 minutes alone, that it's like, you know what? Not even worth my time at this point. But it is worth my time to make this one more video, because I think I need to show you exactly what the real problem was. Because truthfully, this wasn't about Dylan per se. Although it felt good to point out to Geo that Dylan actually got more views than he did in general. I actually made that video because I wanted a response. And I genuinely wanted to hear him address something. And when he didn't, it was like, you know what? That's why we have to explain it. Now, the first thing people might be asking is, well, why did I do it? Well, here's the funny version.
At that point, make sure you clearly state
I was merely defending myself against continuous attacks perpetrated daily by this Neanderthalic individual, and had to resort to drastic measures because the learning institution I attend sat idle without intervention, allowing the routine beatings I received to continue. I should sue you.
I've always loved that squirrel. The second reason that I did it, though, is because of something he did say specifically. And as mentioned before, I did want to hear him respond to it. And not only did he not respond to it, but he actually exceeded my expectations. He lied to his viewers in a way that I actually could not have anticipated he would lie to them about. And he was dishonest with his viewers in a way that if I were a viewer of his, I would probably demand why he was dishonest about this. But let's take a look at the few little things first that I did pick up. Now, I didn't get far enough to to get this point out, but in the description, he said the failed journalist doesn't understand what a viral video was. Admittingly, in the chat room, there was a lot of debate about what a viral video, what that means. And here's the thing. Most people settled on 1 million views, which, that's fair. But the truth is, there's really no set solid answer for what a viral video is. To me, it's always been a video that gets a ton of views, like way more views than what your subscriber count is, because it's all relative. And some people think there's a magic number. Some people think 1 million views is a viral video. Some people think 5 million views is a viral video. Some people believe that if you hit 500,000 within 24 hours or 48 hours, that's a viral video. You know what? Ignoring the whole viral video argument, here's the thing that he was trying to distract you from. His view count sucks. It just sucks. I proved it sucks. I prove he is not watched nearly as much as he probably would like to think he is. And he focused on this to distract you from that. And by the way, yes, the so-called guy known as McLovin has more views than the Rideshare Revolution. And also, Dustin has more views than both of them combined. So that's number one. The second thing, and I really should stop making political jokes, is that I compared him to Donald Trump. Now, people were in the chat saying like, "Hey, don't mess with Trump." This was probably not the right thing to do, admittingly, because, yeah, while Donald Trump is a bully, and I think even his supporters will admit that, and he pushes his weight around, well, Donald Trump has successful businesses of his own, makes a lot of money, and is clearly smart enough to be president of the United States. So, yeah, to compare Gio to Donald Trump, that's probably giving Gio a little too much credit. So, there you go. But then the third thing, and this is kind of a two-part thing. In the video, he's, again, lying to his viewers. And he lies in two ways. One, a very minor way, but an observant person would actually pick it up pretty quickly. And the other, in a way that is so dishonest that, honestly, if his viewers don't care about the fact that he lied about this, then they can't be helped. They really can't. So what's the first lie? Well, here's the first lie. The first lie is like the video is titled Live Reaction to my video. I forgot exactly the title, but it said live reaction in it. This is not a live reaction video. In fact, you don't even have to be a Dick Tracy to figure out why it's not live. There's a few very obvious clues there. First of all, he wasn't watching it live. Like, there you go. He's not watching it live. The other reason is because he's actually pausing the video during comments. And if you look at his face, he's waiting for certain things to end and for certain things to begin, and then he's pausing the video. He definitely gives off the impression that he listened to this before. Maybe even twice. Who knows? But he listened to it, and he was waiting for certain things because nothing I said was a surprise. Nothing came off as shocking. Heck, he didn't even really, in the few minutes I watched, he wasn't even reacting to anything I said. I kind of skipped forward at one point just to see if it got any different. And during a particularly shocking moment, which should have been like a, yeah, that looks pretty bad for you, buddy. No reaction. He just pauses it and he's like, okay, so here's the thing about that. And it's like, all right, you planned out in your head what you were going to say. And then there was a third reason that you can tell that it's not live. But we'll talk about that in a minute because it ties into the other reason. Now, here's the thing. What, am I going to get bent out of shape about this? No, I'm clearly going to point it out because it's totally dishonest. What he is doing is definitely lying by admission. He wants to control the narrative. He wants to make himself look like a tough guy. He wants to make it look like, hey, I am reacting live. Like I'm on the fly. I'm thinking this on the spot. And I'm rebutting, doing a rebuttal of all the things this stupid guy is doing. Like, look at how great I am. That's why he's doing it that way. It's not because if he wanted to do it live, it would be more authentic. But we all know what live reactions are. This isn't a live reaction. But that's not even what offends me most. It makes sense because, again, he's someone who likes to control the narrative and make himself seem smarter than he actually is. No, the reason I know he's especially lying about this is because for someone who was apparently reacting to it live, he had the foresight to skip the intro. And the intro is the whole reason I made the video. So let me explain to you how this is kind of working, what my thought process is as I'm making this video. Admittingly, he's frustrated me for a long time. And about a week and a half ago, I see this comment he makes. It's super hypocritical. He has had a history of calling people liars for getting information wrong before, when in fact, sometimes they're just mistaken. He always harps on them for basically not doing their research. Why don't you do your research? You know, you lazy bum. Like that, you are a horrible person. You're lying because you couldn't take 2 seconds to do this. And he made a statement that could have so easily been proven false. Now, granted, again, he might have a different video idea about what a viral video is, but to outright say like he's had no viral videos and his videos don't get any views at all, that could easily be checked out, and that's not true. We saw Dylan does have videos that people have watched, whether you like that or not. And he didn't want to admit that, and he didn't do his homework. And the whole point of that earlier half of the video was like, you don't get to criticize people for doing things that you yourself do. That was the first point. And interestingly, that was the point that most people understood the most. Some people felt it was kind of a weak argument. That's fine. Whatever. So I did a little research. I made the video. You know, enjoyed it. It was very therapeutic. Put it aside. Well, then a week or so later, he did a happy birthday to Dustin video, which I had to watch because that struck me as especially odd that, because, he called Dustin a meth head, among other things, if you watch that video. And I saw this at the end.
And failed journalist, I'll take it easy on you this time. That's your warning shot. Try this shit again. I've already wrecked you so many times I lost count.
And that's when I got especially pissed. I actually scrapped the video that I made. I completely remade it. I went on and I got savage on it, and I still put it aside. I didn't feel comfortable about it, because it's like, hey, you know what? He's a bully, and you just got to ignore bullies, right? And there's some wisdom in ignoring a bully, because sometimes a bully just wants that attention, which he wants. It's pretty clear he's a lonely guy from everything that's been happening. And maybe that's someone you should feel sorry for rather than hate. I don't know. But the more I thought about it, I started showing it to some people privately. And they said, that's really good. Like, someone needs to stand up to this guy. But we did recommend one change. The intro. There was a completely different intro originally. They're like, you need to show him saying that. You need to show him threatening you. Because here's the thing. That's something that deserves a response. That's an outright threat. It's not even a subtle threat. It's an obvious threat. And with the motions and everything, it could actually be easily interpreted as a violent threat. And you know what? I agreed. Because it's like, here's the thing. I live in America, land of the free. Now, there's a reason up until now I have had an attitude like, yeah, he makes bad videos about me. Oh well, it's his right to do that. So long as he's not actually threatening anyone. As long as he's not threatening to harm someone. Well, with that clip, he actually, in my opinion, actually threatened me. That's crossing a line. And I'm sorry, Gio, you're not that hot. You do not get to tell me what I can and cannot say. You don't get to say, hey, you never pull something like this again, or it's like, no, you don't get to say that. You don't get to say that. Not at all. I will speak my mind if I want to speak my mind. And you know what? I wanted a response to that. So, I put it at the beginning. And it accomplishes two very laughable things at once. First of all, people are pretty much instantly on my side for what's about to come. Now, they can get off my side as the video goes on, and it was probably too long of a video, I will admit. But it also puts you in a position where it's like, you have to address that, because I'm making you look really bad right now. And regardless what you say, my video did not make you look good. It reminded people of some things that they had forgotten. The way you treated certain people. You know, the way you treat your fans. Well, maybe not the fans. I've got Facebook screenshots of those if anyone wants to see them. But I wanted to see, what was your justification for threatening me like that? And here's the thing. You skipped it. You skipped the video. Like, wow. So first of all, that does contribute to the fact that you were not reacting to it live, because there's no reason to skip the intro unless you know there's something there you don't want to address. You know there's something there, like, that's a line you crossed. You don't want to talk about it because it makes you look really bad. I mean, what you did was in some ways illegal. So, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm actually going to do anything about it, because, I mean, I know you're all bark and no bite, but yeah, it's a threat. And it's lying by omission, because by removing the beginning of that video in your video, it's amazing how much it changes the perception of things. It really makes it look like I came after you unprovoked. Like, hey, I was just minding my business, and he decided he wants some views. He's going to come and he's going to stir the pot a little bit. So you're still trying to control the narrative. And you're lying to your viewers about what the narrative is. I think even most of your viewers would understand, hey, someone on YouTube pretty much threatens you in some form or another. that's not going to be taken lightly. That will garner a response. And so I really was quite disappointed you didn't respond to that. Because for all of your faults, and you have many, for that matter, I have many too, you always said you were a man of integrity, you were honest, you didn't lie. Gio, by mere virtue of cutting out the opening and trying to control the narrative, you have lied. You continue to lie. What's worse, you're not only a liar, you're a coward. You're the biggest coward I know. I believe they have a term for people who are both liars and cowards at the same time. We call them bums. You're a bum, Gio. So, here's the thing. I'm not going to be getting into fights with you. You want to disagree with me, that's fine. That I've always encouraged being wrong. The invitation to talk has always been on the table. You've never wanted it. You prefer this, honestly. I won't be bullied, and, that is basically what started that. You threatened me, and I decided to publish a video because I wanted a response. And you're too chicken to even respond to that. So, yeah, maybe some people are right. I shouldn't have started it, but I got my answer. I accomplished everything I set out to do. You looked foolish. I proved that you did not get the views you said you did. I proved that that your friendship with people like Dustin was surface level. I mean, you couldn't stand the guy, and then when he got ahead of you, you started to chummy up to him. I proved all that. I mean, I even proved that you were insecure because you made a response video before the video was even out and you knew what you were responding to. So, and then when you did make the response video, you skipped the most important part because it made you look bad. It made you look really, really bad. And so, yeah, I've said my piece now. I truly have. And if I don't respond to you or much of the comments the next few days, it's because I'm driving to Sacramento and I'm getting married to a wonderful person. And we're going to start a life together. And we have so much fun. And I'm just so glad that I have time to spend with her instead of being in a box within a box within a box. That's a reference to, you being in a car and you being in a YouTube channel and anyway. So I know yesterday I said I wouldn't make any more. I'm not going to make that promise. I'm not going to make that promise again. It's unlikely I'll return to the subject. I don't think there's any point. If this guy's too much of a coward to even debate honestly, then yeah, there's no reason to even bring anything up. He's playing to his own audience, and I need to play to mine. And my audience definitely likes more intelligent videos than these stupid things. But, it's just once in a while you get pushed to do something, and maybe this will probably be like a regret in the long term, but who knows. So, for having to put up with 2 of these, I am posting an extra video today. And it's actually an important one. And the videos up to Tuesday have already been planned. They are made. There's even a couple of how-to videos in there. So, we're kind of going to start putting more of those there too. It is very, very unlikely there will be a live stream on Sunday. We might, if it's possible, live stream the first dance at the wedding on Saturday. Or the money dance, because I hear people get really crazy during the money dance. So we will I would like to share some of that with you. Let's bring some joy back to this channel. Someone left an interesting comment, and it was a joke. It was clearly a joke. But it's one that I want to heed, because there's a kernel of truth to it, where someone said, Kevin, The channel's going in a new direction. Me, this is a very dark path, Kevin. I don't think you should go that way. And I was talking to another UberTuber on Facebook, and, you know, I actually really appreciate this. I won't name who it is because I don't want to put them on the spot. I really do appreciate their friendship because they do push me sometimes to think a little deeper. And, you know, you mentioned certain comments about money, like, well, keep in mind, you weren't doing so good financially a year ago, and people had to help you out, so you should show a little bit of humility, and he's right. And he also said, I don't want you to go too dark, because that's not, you know, it's not you, and it's not why I watch the channel, and I don't want to go dark. And this is like the final reason why I decided to do this now, instead of last week. I kind of strategically put it during what was obviously going to be the happiest week of my life, or one of the happiest weeks of my life, because I'm in such a good mood that no negative comment can hurt me. If I lose a dozen subscribers, who cares? Who cares? I'm starting life with a wonderful woman. I really am. And my 10-minute video is now turned into a 25-minute video. So, yeah, I guess that happens sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to end this video with this. Aside from the flame responsibly in the comments, because, you know, I do want you to be civil with one another. In the midst of all this, after watching this video, if you can, might I recommend finding someone nearby who you love and just giving them a hug. Because as someone who never really liked hugs much before, I'm appreciating them a lot more these days. And I think if there were more hugs going around, I don't know, I you know, they're just nice. Just call someone, tell them you love them. I mean, I think another positive thing about bad situations like these is that they're so emotionally draining that it's kind of a reminder why I don't want to go down this path in the long run, and to really appreciate the good people in my life. So, and Gio's not a good person. He's proved it. I've proved it. And unless he like really, he like starts doing something extremely unforgivable, like threatening people again, that deserve to be called out, you know, I'll call him out. I will. But otherwise, I'm going to quote The Godfather twice. You know, on the souls of my nieces and nephews, because I don't have kids, I will not be the one to break the peace. And the other thing, quote from The Godfather, I'll say, you know, and this is to Gio. It's like, I think what you're doing is a dirty business. However, seeing as how it does not interfere with mine, I wish you the best of luck. There we go. Flame responsibly, hug someone. Monitor just went off. That's how long I've been talking. Catch you later.